All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Twitter space. I'm joined here with Mr. Bleaves. I got Roof as our co-host, and a lot of people from our community. So, just going to be having a nice little talk today. I got a few things that I want to drop as far as news for what we've been working on as well. So we'll go ahead and get into that a little bit later. But just to kick things off, Bleaves, how you doing, brother? Everything good? I know you mentioned you're having a pretty hectic day, so hopefully it gets a little bit more calm for you leading on here into the evening.
Yeah, dude, my life is wild. Cryptocurrency is out of control sometimes. I got that thing going on with Ben Armstrong. So all I
Yeah,
can say is
let's
it's
talk about that a little bit, man, if you don't mind.
constantly
Like,
crazy.
because I know you and him were like real tight. You and
Yeah,
Ben were real cool. You guys worked on a few things together, and then last time we spoke a few months back, he was supposed to onboard you on something that he was doing. At least from what I remember you telling me.
yeah, we did one episode, and then he got fired and kicked off of his channel, and now we got the Ben Armstrong Crypto Show, and it just now it's just different. So now we're just working through partnerships and uh, different stuff to build that channel and get it going. So
So, how's your
wild
relationship
times.
with him? Like, is there
Good.
even still a relationship now with him, or you just like really don't talk, or what's the deal?
No, we were talking a few minutes ago before I came here.
Oh, okay. So you guys are still cool. How's he doing? Like, I know the internet's been like weighing down on him, so I'm sure that's a freaking um, a whole lot to process. So, I mean, mentally, like, I'm sure he's going through it right now.
Well, I'll tell you this. You know all those memes that you saw in the last couple of days about him?
Yeah.
I send them to him. He thinks they're hilarious. He is not bothered by this at all.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's definitely something that is a strong suit. I know a lot of people would crumble under the pressure of it, especially like, I mean, I don't know. It seems like it's good exposure. You know, they always say even negative exposure is still bad press is still press. So
That is correct. As long as people are talking about him, that's good. He's got 1.5 million subscribers on one channel, 1 million on Twitter. Um, any exposure is good exposure. And here's the thing: the people that hate him, they're still going to hate him when this conversation's over. People that like him still going to like him when this conversation's over. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to be moved by any of the stuff that's going on. People that are on the fence, they're paying attention anyway. He's absolutely killing hit networks right now. So, those people right there are they're the ones that are struggling. He's not anymore.
yeah. So break down the situation. Like, what the hell even happened, bro? Like, because all of a sudden, like, I hadn't heard of BitBoy in the news for I don't know, like a couple of months. Nothing crazy, and then boom, all of a sudden he's everywhere. Like, obviously we saw the video, the live stream. So obviously we saw
Yeah.
that, but leading up to that, like, what caused all this shit to hit the fan?
All right. So, if you remember back when Bencoin popped up and ETH Ben had launched it, and then Ben got into it, what happened was there was another. There were some external issues with Boomio, which is that was something that he had come up with a while back, but Hit Networks had a problem with him being in charge of, so he was able to. He was kind of moved out of that. He's still the majority owner, but he's not the majority shareholder. So they want him to do things that he was not comfortable doing, that he didn't want to do. You know, they like promoting stuff, and he doesn't want to promote anything. And when you have that deal with Stake and you have everything that's going on, they don't really have to. So they didn't understand that, and they wanted more. I guess is the easiest way to put it. And he didn't want to do. He didn't want to do those deals anymore. He didn't want to. He didn't want to do meme coins, altcoins, anything like that. He just wanted to be a news channel. So they were opposed to each other in that regard. There had been some frictions wearing amongst them for a while. And then, of course, he brought aboard somebody who he has another relationship with. So, everything started to kind of swell up into something a little bit more than just your normal thing. And there was a blow up. And during the blow up, he basically told TJ that TJ was fired. So TJ in turn fired him. So and there's some, there's recordings and stuff like that of those conversations. So we had done, we'd basically done a show on that Friday, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to be in Denver for the weekend." And then like Sunday morning, I get a call, and he's like, "Bro, you're not going to believe this shit." And yeah, they had been locked out of all their accounts and assets frozen, email accounts, everything had been blocked. And TJ was saying that he was firing him, and saying that that he was creating an unsafe environment, just whatever you could throw at somebody, because what they have to do is he's a 67% majority shareholder, so they have to come up with some wild ass conspiracies to put him into a bad light, and that's what the work was. So then you saw there's a wild card out here. His name is Carlos. That guy Carlos, he's he's I mean, I want to say gangster type guy, but I don't know if he is or not. He just kind of comes off that way. He likes to strong arm people. He's genuinely, actually, I think a pretty nice guy. Him and Ben have been friends for a while. But all the while, he had been stabbing Ben in the back and recording conversations and just doing wild stuff. And so he was working for people at Vimeo, I guess. And, there's some Vimeo investors involved, and it's not working out the way they wanted it to. So, now they've got this, they have this wild ass situation where, they've lost all their sponsors, they've lost all this stuff. So then they decided to lean into, maybe we can get Ben back in, and he did not want to play ball. He was not going to play ball. In the meantime, form the Ben Armstrong Crypto Show and go through the process. But in the meantime, he was feeling a little bit nervous because of this outlier, so to speak, and he was feeling threatened. His life was being threatened, stuff like that. So he took some time to kind of mull over what he was going to do next. And then in the meantime, you hear a video. There is one that's public now, and you hear one where Carlos sent it. He'll be under a prison if he keeps this up. And he felt like that was a death threat. So then they took his Lambo, which he loves his car, and but he's also got the Demon that he's selling right now. But he didn't want to lose the Lambo because that's kind of a status symbol in crypto, and they kind of forced his hand, and with threats. I mean, they were threatening, and when you're getting your hand forced with threats, then you got to do what you got to do to survive. And it turns out that instead of doing what they said they were going to do, Carlos kept the Lambo, and so that's why on the way back from South Carolina, which, by the way, the reason he was coming from South Carolina was because they were doing something involving this whole thing. And on the way back, he gets a call from somebody at Hit Network who says, "Hey, man, your Lambo is sitting in Carlos's garage." And that right there drove him out of his mind. He went absolutely ape shit. And I mean, before that, he's like, "Watch me go to jail over this one." And, he just headed right over there. And at that point, he had, Cassie was in the car because they were coming back from South Carolina, and Austin had driven separately. Those are all the people that are part of the Ben Network. And that put him, that made him even more famous. So,
yeah, exactly. That's what it did. It made him more famous, dude.
Right.
So Carlos took Ben's car, and Ben was now Carlos.
yeah. And so it didn't. It was just wild circumstances, and he just decided that he was going to go ahead and make this big play. And in the meantime, we got some other stuff that came out, which nothing's released yet, but trust me, it's about to get crazy, and he's gonna get a lot of money off of this. So How's he feeling? He's feeling really good today. How am I feeling? Like, pay me. You know what I mean? But that's kind of a summary of what's going on.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about like what's going on with your situation. Like last we spoke, I know you were on the grind. You were still like on the come up, and you were trying to work on some big things. Obviously, since we've last spoke, now we've got a new project that we released about, I want to say like 10, 12 days ago at this point. It's called the Gold Token, the Gold Coin, and 21 million supply. It's doing fairly decent right now. I think on the first 24 hours of launch, we hit like 7 point something million in market cap, few $1 million in volume, and then things started slowing down a bit. But right now, what we're doing is we're working on like a few things to kind of release in terms of alpha. We've got email marketing campaigns set up. Over 2 million plus people are going to be getting direct emails, newsletter, all this cool stuff. Spread a little bit of exposure as to what the project is. These are all verified crypto users as well, by the way. They're not just like random people who are going to be receiving emails. All of these people are sourced and verified crypto users. So, I mean, we've been trying to, dabble in new marketing tactics here and there. Have you heard of anything new that's kind of like worth trying in your case? I know like KOLs right now are a big thing, and kind of explain to me, like, have you had any opportunity in growth with the whole KOL strategy, or are you really not focusing on that currently?
I have a list of, I'll take a video from somebody, I'll do a promo for somebody, but it's sorry, I'm working out while I'm doing this, but it's kind of a, I try to stay expensive because I don't want just anybody coming up. You do what you got to do every once in a while, but I who I partner with is a smaller sort of list. I was fortunate to get in with Gate.io, NordVPN, MEXC, and MEXC's been great. We're trading like 100 million a month on that, and I started leading into futures trading, and some of the people that that are in the space are they're telling me, dude, you got to do futures. Like, that's where the money is. So they were right. That's where the money is. So that doesn't. It's a bear market, so it's a very tough time. But it's allowed me to create a different sort of business profile, and I also launched my own token. Not real. At first, I was doing it for another project that I was partnered with. And the reason I was partnered with that one was because it was friends of mine. Ryan Patrick is among the people. So, it was something that I was doing for them, basically. And then it's kind of taking on a short little life of its own. So in a couple days, Wednesday, I think is the official day, we're launching a game for it where you can earn tokens. It's really simple, but it's a fun game. And it's got I'm going to be broadcasting. I did a video Saturday night from inside the metaverse. So, and it's spatial.io, and Spatial is a pretty big game maker in the space. So I don't know how they decided Believes Crypto is the guy we want to go to, but they did. So we're going to launch a game. We're going to do some stuff with it and see where it goes. I mean, there's no promise of any, like for me, there's no promise of anything. I'm just along for the ride at this point with these people to see what happens. So that's kind of a summary of what I've been doing and trying to lean into daily shows and being informative to the space. That's about it.
Yeah, that's good, man. I mean, you're keeping yourself pretty busy, it seems like, and that's a good thing. That's definitely a really good thing. We've also been keeping ourselves pretty busy. Community is growing. We've kind of got our whole launchpad system back in play right now. Obviously, the gold token, the gold coin, was the resurrection of the launchpad. So we got a lot of cool stuff going in the pipeline. And I don't know if you even like, we haven't talked in what, maybe 3 months now, 4 months. Last time we spoke was on the Twitter space as well. So I mean, I follow your tweets every now and then, but realistically, what do you think is the future for the next 6 months, like leading into the halving? I know the halving is coming up here in April. We saw a little bit of a jump in the market yesterday and the day before, or was it just yesterday? I think it was just yesterday.
Yesterday,
Yeah, yesterday. We saw a little bit of a jump, but me personally, look, I have this theory. I think everything is being manipulated right now by the big, hedge funds, BlackRock, Citadel, whatever you name it, Vanguard. And I think they're just keeping things low while they're accumulating, man. And I think they are accumulating, bro. On the low key, I think they are. And I think leading into the next halving, it's just going to go wild. But that's just my personal thought on it. Obviously, never any financial advice. This is just me talking about my thoughts out loud. What do you think? What's your take on the future, the next, let's say, 6 months leading up into April?
Yeah, so primarily I would say this would be a little contrary. You're on the right path, in my opinion, but I'm a little contrary to some of the stuff that you're saying. These guys buy OTC, so they are very careful not to mess with the prices. So when you look at BlackRock, you look at VanEck, and you look at ARC21, they're buying from places that won't wreck the chart, that won't even cause a movement. So they're not in here for what's happening right now. What's happening right now is VC companies and big players that have big unnamed players. Like if you've heard about their name, they're not manipulating charts. But big name players or big unnamed players out here, derivatives represent right now 84% of all volume. So if that's the case, then when you see a move like you saw yesterday, basically that's what you call a short squeeze. So what happened is these companies got together, they decided to run up the price, and they attacked the open interest. And I believe 8.3% of all open interest was liquidated yesterday. So that is a significant amount to get wrecked in 1 point. 392 million was the total in the shorts that got wrecked in, I want to say 30 minutes, because I was into a short, and I was up on a short, and I was playing out pretty nicely, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go eat dinner. I went to eat dinner, and my phone dinged, and it was like, you got liquidated. And I had low leverage, so this was a massive move for me. So I was like, Jesus Christ, this is crazy. So the other thing is, if you watch my show, then you'll know that this is now the 9th time they've done what we call liquidity sweep. So that liquidity sweep goes to the upside. It'll hover around because you're trying to get what's happening right now. And by the way, there is always a possibility of some upside momentum, but most probably what you're looking at right now is Bitcoin is sitting there, because what you're getting is, you'll notice that it starts to look like a pennant pattern, which we all know is a bullish indicator. And as soon as that bullish indicator starts to form, that's when a bunch of people start going long, thinking that they're about to get in on a big play. So what the liquidity sweep will do is, most probably, and don't quote me on this, it's not an exact science, but 26.5, anywhere from 26,000 to 26.5 is where we're going to end up in the next, I want to say, day or so. We'll come back down and correct back to that downside, because we're not ready for that kind of run yet, because we still don't have retail in the market. The retail is basically 100% PvP at this point. There's no new money coming in, and everybody who is here is just hopping from project to project looking for a pump. So
exactly, man. No, you nailed it with that one, bro. And even in the Web3 space, that's also very, very relative, right? Because we saw that too with the most recent launch we did with gold. Is I did an analysis of the holders, and yeah, you got some first time or new wallets or this or that, but the majority, I'm talking 90-95% of people are hopping project to project. So you're right, the new money, they're not dabbling in crypto as much as they were, let's say, a year and a half ago. they're, like you said, the people who are playing the games right now, they know, they're the people who are like seasoned veterans, right? They know where they can make money, they know where there's an opportunity, and they're going project to project and kind of um, sharing the liquidity in a sense. But what we need for that next breakthrough is we're gonna need new money to start coming in, right? Like in order to kind of break the old all-time highs and be able to kind of put this thing into a bullish momentum. Right now, it's just like I feel like everything is going just sideways down, and then boom, massive spike up, and then it'll like slowly over the course of a few days correct back to the old price, and then just rinse and repeat that pattern. And I mean, people are benefiting from it. People are understanding the pattern. They're buying shorts when they're buying them. They're going long when they feel like it's the right time. So the futures, I personally don't trade futures, just because when I do trades like that, I get way over my head, and like I'll use too much leverage, and I like try to have too much fun, and then I end up getting wrecked. So I personally don't do that anymore. But yeah, man, the people who understand how to do that and kind of like have it down to a T, they're making a killing, bro. I know another guy as well. All he does is futures, and all he does is use leverage trading, and dude's making a killing. He's always I'm in a group chat with him, so he always posts his positions and shows how much he's made every week or whatever, and he's killing it, bro. But right now, what we're trying to do is like create more opportunity for people in Web3 with the Launchpad. Like, so we've been kind of like analyzing the market over the past few months, and I mean, it's nothing new, but obviously there's a whole bunch of rug pulls and a whole bunch of like dirty developers that are out here just doing wrong by their communities. So the whole point of like our Launchpad is to bring a safe haven to ETH and possibly other blockchains as well, to bring people together in the sense of like, hey, this is a safe place for you guys to trade. You guys got trusted developers. You guys know what we're all about. We've done three different projects at this point now. ShibaDoge that hit $265 million market cap. Burn that's hit $100 million market cap. Excuse me. And now we got Gold, and Gold did 7 million in its first 24 hours, first 24 to 36 hours, something like that. But what I'm seeing here is,
hey, can I say something real quick here?
Yeah, of course.
Your market caps are a testament to what this market is doing right now. You had you guys normally in the last bull market, 300 million. That was the peg. That was, everybody would run, maybe get 150 million, then you would correct back down under 50 million, and then all of a sudden you would rocket up to 300 million, and it's countless tokens. Then you got to, you guys were lucky enough to launch Burn right before the real capitulation, and you got up to 100 million on that one. And I want to say that was on the launch in the first couple hours.
Right.
And then after that, the market was just dead. And the weird thing is, DeFi means the space that we're in is a little different than the broader markets. We're not listening to the now we're listening to all watching Bitcoin, and we're listening to all these different people before. So we were thinking, if Burn goes to 100, it's going to dip back down. It's going to go to 300, and it just never happened because the market dynamics had just changed utterly and rapidly, and we got a full capitulation going on. So now here we are, but your market caps are a testament to how these markets are bleeding out right now.
Exactly. That's kind of what I wanted to say as well, is what we saw with ShibaDoge was a lot of new money coming in, right? Like you said, like a lot. I remember a lot of people coming into the community saying, hey, I've never held a meme coin before, and ShibaDoge is my first meme coin. I would see that multiple times a day, every single day for weeks on end. And then we launched Burn, and I still saw that. Not as much, but I still saw that. And then now with Gold, I don't see new money. I see people that I've seen in other projects. I see people that I've seen in our community. I see people that I've seen on Telegram or Twitter, but I don't see that new guy coming in and saying like, hey, how do I buy a coin, right? That's what we used to get a lot of, where people were like, how do I buy? How do I buy? They didn't know how to buy because it was their first time experimenting with DeFi. And you're right, like the market is shifted in a way where it's making things a lot harder. And to be honest with you, the tactics have to be a lot different for the people in DeFi right now in terms of like penetrating a new audience and penetrating even a general audience that already exists, because the space got so diluted with all this shit that like shitty developers threw out there and scammed people and rug pulled people, where it's to a point where people are like, yo, like I don't want to keep losing money in DeFi. Like I don't want to go buy a project and then wake up and the liquidity is pulled, or my wallet is blacklisted, or whatever, right? And I think that's like one of our main goals with what we're trying to build here is kind of like making sure to take that aspect out of people's heads. Like if you're trading one of our projects, sleep well at night knowing like liquidity is going to be safe. You're not going to get blacklisted. You're not going to get, you know, we're not going to get up and abandon anybody or anything. But one thing we can't control is like the amount of people that trade back and forth on things, right? So it's definitely a little bit slower right now than it would have been when we launched ShibaDoge or Burn even. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just back up my car a little bit. This guy's trying to park. There we go. All right. But yeah, so now we're trying different tactics, right? Like I said, the email tactic. The only other project that I've seen do this email tactic and do it successfully is Pepe, and the guy who actually helped set this up for us help them as well, right? So realistically, we're kind of like following that footstep there. I'm not trying to say we're copying them, but like we see that worked for them, and they were the only other people to be able to pull it off successfully. And this shit ain't cheap. We paid over $100,000 out of our own pocket just to get all these email lists, and it's definitely not cheap. It costs more than what was in the marketing wallet. I could just put it like that. And so we have to pay for it out of our own pocket, which is fine because it's like, you know, we could repurpose this and use it for other things as well in the future. But more or less, trying to penetrate a new audience right now is one of the difficult things that we've ran into with this previous launch. But Max is my partner Max. He's a marketing genius. He's been putting together a pretty good plan for what we need to do. And this week we're going to be kind of slowly trickling out some extra catalysts that we've been working on. I'm probably not going to announce it today. Well, definitely I'm not going to announce it today because we're not ready to announce it. But hopefully tomorrow and the next day and the day after that, like I'll give a couple extra catalysts for people to look forward to, things that we've been working on and things for people to expect. But more or less, the biggest thing that we got to work on, and this is something that I was thinking about all weekend, is what you just said, is like there is no new money coming into the entire market. So not just meme coins, but like Bitcoin, Ethereum, you name it, Solana, whatever, all the most well-known coins. So the message, the narrative that needs to be pushed has to be a little bit different than what everybody is already used to, because that I believe is the only way to get more people, new people, to start coming into the space. And you screw the space and let's just get them into our own project is the way that I'm thinking right now, right? Because it's like we have a massive community, we want to grow our own thing. Our focus is all in what we're working on right now. Bitcoin and ETH will do their thing. Like I have no control over being able to help them, but I could definitely do something to try to help our community, right?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see new money come until February. So, basically at this point, you have to take care of. You basically have to take care of yourself and your own at this point. And I think that this space did a really poor job of growing and developing through this bear market, because just like SHIB, just like all these other tokens, we rely on wealth transfer in order to be a symbol of success. We rely on people to just hold on forever so that we can build on top. And what we never did, and what nobody ever did in this space, is teach you that, hey, the responsible thing for you to do is come in here, buy low, sell high, and then reaccumulate again low. I mean, if we just consider that, if we had some savvy group of people when the time was way back when, and they were teaching people the proper way to invest and how to, buy the bottom, sell the top, and then wait for it to come back down, and then come back in and buy an even bigger bag, then all of those people would be better holders for us today, because they'd still be flush with cash, they'd still be in a good position, and they wouldn't be absolutely wrecked or sitting here with what can only be described as despair. That's what people are feeling, is despair. People wouldn't have that despair feeling while they're sitting here holding on to a bag that was $10,000, it's now $600. That's, I think, where, as a community, I think that's where we failed the investors. And I think that, going forward, I think a lot of people will have learned that lesson for the next round. And I think we're going to see all of us who are here right now, who are listening and learning, we're going to be much more savvy investors, and we're going to be much better. But, the cycle will repeat itself anew. And again, I think in February that the money comes in, because that's tax time for the United States. And even though a lot of people are kind of struggling a little bit, that is still where the money will come. And then it's going to come in at the same time that we're, getting, I think right now, April 21 is the Bitcoin halving, but with volume being what it is, I think it's been sped up just a little bit. So, yeah, a couple things there.
What do you think is going to happen after the halving? Do you think it's going to be like immediately we're going to be seeing like crazy price movement, or do you think it's going to be just kind of dormant, and then, weeks after the halving, boom, we just see something happen?
So I would think that the floor would be held. There's going to be some sell pressure initially on the halving. But, generally we got 60 days after the halving when we really start to take off. And, what's happening right now, things are a little bit weird because, one of the things that we were having that we shouldn't be having, but we are, is we're getting a lot of sell pressure right now by miners. And the miners who would normally be holding at this point are being forced to sell because of rising costs, like fuel prices and everything are starting to become a burden to them, whereas what they should have been able to do, or what they should be doing right now, is holding. So remember, the miners basically hold the floor for Bitcoin. And when the miners are selling, then Bitcoin price is going to be lower. And, price movement isn't because of a lot of trade volume. A lot of trade volume moves the price up and down. That sideways action is pretty low. So that's, and derivatives. So, we'll see. We're going to see some price come down. Like we're still destined, I think, for about 21.7. I think that.
So let me ask you this. So after the halving, it's obviously going to become harder for the miners to get Bitcoin.
Yes.
And with the way that, electricity prices are, gas prices, just the world economy, inflation, all this crap, and they're already having to sell what they mine right now just to be able to keep their operation afloat. What's going to keep them in business when the halving happens and these guys are getting less Bitcoin and actually consuming more energy and having to do that? Like, wouldn't they have no choice but to either close up shop or I mean, the only way for them to be profitable is for Bitcoin to start going up in price, right? Like realistically, like they wouldn't be operating in the negative if they're losing money, based on the energy costs and everything else right now.
Yeah, so great question. The answer to that is BlackRock, ARC21, Invesco, Fidelity, Grayscale. These guys did not get into cryptocurrency to sell a $27,000 Bitcoin to people for $30,000. They're in Bitcoin right now because they plan on selling a $27,000 Bitcoin to millionaires for $1 million a piece. So you have to recognize the signals of what's going to happen. Now, it's going to be more difficult for miners to hold their floors because they're going to need capital and they're not going to be able to hold right now, which is why the price should be coming down pretty soon. But when we get to that halving, then their Bitcoin is going to be more precious and more valuable. And there's going to be a lot more people that are digging into Bitcoin just by virtue of these exchange traded funds. And if you don't think that BlackRock and Fidelity and ARC21 are not savvy enough to sell their investors on why they should be buying the shit out of Bitcoin right now, then you would be kidding yourself. They know what they have. They understand the value. And just imagine how long it took you to figure out what was going on with Bitcoin. Now imagine that they've got hundreds of people with bachelors in computer science running the numbers, running the data, and they've got finance experts figuring out the best way for them to market to maximize their profits. They're not doing this because they don't think they're going to make any money, or they think they're going to struggle. They're doing this because they understand and they know that what they are holding is the equivalency of digital gold, not to steal your pun, and they will moon cryptocurrency very rapidly, and it will be something that we're not expecting. We won't see it. We won't know exactly when it's coming. We're just all going to be along for the ride.
I love it, man. That's put perfectly, man. And honestly, I personally as well think Bitcoin is going to hit $1 million one day. When I mean, God knows, but I don't know. But I do agree with you. Like, these guys who are holding and accumulating, they have that goal, right? Is like, okay, we're gonna hold it until 1 million, and then we'll start selling it to millionaires for $1 million a piece. So if you have 100 Bitcoin, you're looking at it, and you're whatever value it's showing now, it doesn't matter. If you know that one day that it could possibly hit $1 million a piece, then you're gonna hold on to it. But yeah, you're right. They are savvy. They have all the money in the world. Doesn't matter if they could operate on negative for 10 decades, and it wouldn't even matter to them, because they literally own 60% of all the real estate in the world, if you think about it.
Well, they also answer to investors. Because they're a publicly traded company. So you will see an immediate and significant move to provide return to their investors, because they are sitting on what they think is going to be the thing that takes them to that next level. And that's the cool part of where we are in the system right now. Now, you can be more libertarian and you could say, well, this is a bad thing because, BlackRock's going to control all the Bitcoin. Well, Michael Saylor already has, with MicroStrategy, a whole bunch of Bitcoin. So there's a whole lot of people out here that control a lot of Bitcoin that we're not complaining about right now because they're maxis. Well, BlackRock is going to be a maxi, and Bitcoin by itself is not the value. The value is the technology. It's that algorithm. It's that 256 algorithm. That's the thing that matters. SBA 256. That's the one. That's the thing that creates the value for everything going forward into the future. So, this is they're making an investment into the long term. They're making an investment into a position which is going to help us leverage improving all of our positions for whatever it is that we want to do in the future, privacy, security, creating a real Web3 instead of what we're using right now, which is like not even close to where it should be. But this type of run, that's going to get us there and give us the capital to change the world.
Definitely, I 100% agree with that. So, what's your plans for the next couple of months? Like, do you have anything like in particular, in specific, that you're working on, or just right now just dabbling with what you're already currently in and kind of just going along with the ride, or is there something like in the works for you?
Yeah. So first, I got my own project. So I'm gonna, do what I got to do to launch that and get that done as best possible to create value for holders. We got a game launching in a couple days, and really, collect as many dots as you can. It's very simple. It's a simple game system, but again, it's spatial. So spatial is a pretty big company. So after that, I've got the partnership with Ben and Bencoin. We're getting close to V2, so we're gonna be launching that one pretty soon. We should be able to make an announcement tomorrow on V2, and then Habibi's going to Dubai, so Wolfie and DubX. I think I'm going to be going to Dubai and having some conversations with them about, basically about me and Wolfie's a big money guy, so that'd be, that's one of the best people to be rubbing shoulders with, is people who've made it, who are successful in the space, who have good businesses. And Dubai X is launching the DubX IPO program, so they're tokenizing a real corporation in Dubai, which is going to be the first of its kind there. So, I'll be doing a whole bunch, trying to figure out how best I fit into the place. And in the meantime, telling everybody that they should be doing futures trading, because that's how I make my money now.
Yeah. What do you mean by tokenizing a company in Dubai? You're talking about like them selling the shares of the company as tokens, or?
Yeah, the shares being tokenized.
Is there any company that does that currently? Is that like VE Chain, or is that something different?
So I think everybody kind of feels that way, and I think we all kind of look at our projects in that way. This is going to be the first officially licensed company that does it that way, where you're basically buying a share with the token, as opposed to like you're a corporation with quarterly reports, with responsibilities and duties to shareholders. Like, this is going to be the first of its kind in that regard, I think.
And how does that work? So does the price of the token, is that pegged with the price of their stock, or they're just not even going public, like on the stock market? They're just going to be going.
Well, they don't have to. They don't have to, because they're in Dubai, so they don't have to go into. They don't have to be part of the stock market there, because Dubai is crypto savvy, and MBS has been, say what you will about him, but he's been very good about crypto adoption in the Middle East. So it's led to a lot of favorable rules for cryptocurrencies and stringent guidelines. But as opposed to having somebody like Gary Gensler in place, who's obstructionist, because he's basically a shill for the legacy system. And when I say that, I don't mean that he doesn't even dislike crypto. He just wants the people that they trust to be the ones that are in control of it. So, we look at Gary Gensler today and we say, oh my God, this guy's so bad for crypto. Well, not that he's bad for crypto, it's that he's bad for the current crypto companies. He's going to be great for the next group of centralized exchanges that start up. He's going to be great for Bank of America when they have a CEX. He's going to be great for JP Morgan Chase when they have a CEX. Those are the people that he protects and takes care of. So when they come aboard, you're going to suddenly see a lot more relaxed policy, and it's just a matter of time now for that.
So when that happens, is DeFi as a whole going to lose its whole anonymous factor, or do you think like everything will still be able to be anonymous for people that want to keep it that way?
Centralized exchanges just represent on-roads and off-roads for your money. How you get it and when you get back won't be a thing. There'll be rules, and there'll be gates that they will keep, because that's what they do, but it won't be much different than the rules and gates that they're keeping already. So I don't think that you're going to see too much of a difference. The issue is not that. The issue is, it doesn't matter how hard you try. You have people like Binance, and we don't understand everything that's happened at Binance, but we know that there's a lot of conversations about things that we would not be appropriate in our network from 2018 to 2022. So they brought receipts when we started talking about them. Well, I would think that BlackRock is probably going to be partnering with Bank of America. We're going to see Citibank, Chase, all these different companies. They're going to be part of this new infrastructure. And I think that the only current centralized exchange that survives here in the U.S., other than some startups, is going to be probably Coinbase, because Coinbase is in too deep right now, and they've been too compliant, and they've bucked the system. So I think they're going to be the sole white knight for crypto going forward, at least in the U.S. environment.
Yeah, Coinbase does things, to the T. They follow all the rules, man. I think they're going to be huge in the future, like even 10 times bigger than they are right now, because considering like the amount of Bitcoin, not just Bitcoin, but the assets that they already own, all these other competitors, they're going to have to drop an arm and a leg before they could catch up with them.
Well, we saw Binance. Binance ran, Binance is holding about 70 billion in assets right now, and Coinbase can't even touch that. But it's slowly but surely starting to dwindle at Binance. And if you again remember, Binance from 2019 to 2022 became that. And I mean, really 2017, but it didn't take them very long to get to the top of the heap. When crypto's in a bull run, then that movement goes very fast and very rapid. It would not be just as an example. FTX collapsed because of bad business decisions and because of bad dealings between Alameda and FTX. But if it were a bull run, none of that would have happened financially. They could have ended up being the biggest company in the world because of the amount of money going in and out, and they could have passed Binance in a heartbeat. Same thing as Binance goes on its way down. We've got people who are just a little bit nervous. If a bull run kicks off in the next 6 months and Binance is struggling, it would be nothing to see Coinbase become the number one exchange in the world, or to see Gate.io take that place, or to see, you're not going to see Huobi, because if you look at FTX and you decide that you're going to rebrand HTX, like Jesus Christ, like you are not going to make it. But KuCoin, Gate.io, somebody's going to rise up and take that place and suck the oxygen out of that room and fill it up with whatever they want. So you're going to see probably a new number one, and you might see Binance, get their shit together and make another big run. So it's always possible. But yeah, there's going to be we're going to be looking at a vastly changed environment in the next year or so.
In the bull run, how much were the assets that Binance were holding? What was the valuation on that in the bull?
I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 79 billion.
So 79 billion in the bull, and now in the bear they're holding 70. So what that means is they deployed more capital into buying more assets on the dip. Is that right?
Well, at the end of the day, they're a great company that does things in a very cutthroat sort of way. So they haven't hurt themselves. And I think their actual valuation right now is like 57 billion. I think I might have that a little bit wrong. But I mean, to go from these high numbers, and they could have spiked in that bear market or in that bull run to way above that. And it just, it really wouldn't matter too much overall. It's just that, this, I don't have it right in front of me, but I want to say it was 79 billion and now it's 57. But we can look that up online.
Yeah, not a big.
But anyway, they've held out. They've held up amazingly. And when you look at their overall struggles, I think I should point this out. If you look at their overall struggles for Binance, you're looking at the United States, but I don't even think Binance.us was worth $1 billion. Like, I think it was just a tiny, tiny thing that had 2% of the market.
I had had Binance.us for a while. Yeah, I didn't like it, man. I feel like it was just like I don't know. I can't explain it, but I just didn't like it. I'm kind of glad that it's not a thing anymore.
Well, it's what you like. I use MEXC because they partnered with me first. Is it the best one? I don't know. I don't think so. But it was the first one that really partnered with me and started pushing me for subscribers, and it was the first one that started producing me good results. So I've kind of stuck with them when I do trading. I've got a couple of shorts going right now that I entered into a few hours ago on Fairdesk because I'm also partnered with them. But, like if I'm out here promoting and telling you which one that I would prefer you trade on, well, I guess I should say it would actually be Gate.io because I make more money off of Gate.io than I would off of MEXC. But MEXC is the one that I'm most comfortable with when I do trading. And there's nothing special. There's nothing special about it, by the way. It's just the one I'm comfortable with.
Let's go into like a super short, like way of like how you open a short position, for example. Like, what does Bleaves do when he opens a short position this morning? Like, how much money do you put in on your short? What leverage do you use? And like, what targets do you look at?
So,
like, no financial advice, none of that. I just wanted to, I'm curious what you're
doing. So what I use Lux Algo Predictive Ranges. Lux Algo Predictive Ranges gives you a blue line, which is your point of control, that's where you take your profit. That's where you make decisions. Then you have, there's two green lines on the top. That's your value area high. And then you have some red lines at the bottom. That's your value area low. And basically, as a rule of thumb, depending on what your risk factor is, then you're going to put in, you're going to go, 5 to 10x on the first green line that's closest to the blue line. So let's just say that the cost of the value of something right now is 100. And at 105 is your first green line, and 110 is your next green line. Those lines are there because those are the value areas. And what that's telling you is if the price goes up into that range, it's most likely going to come back down to the point of control because that's what crypto likes to do. That's what buying and selling is all about. People taking profits up and down. So if it goes to that first green line, then you're going to go into a position, either you're going to go short on this and you're going to go 5 to 10x. You're not going to use large leverage because it's the lowest position and that price could still run and you don't want to get liquidated on your way up. But if it goes to the second green line, then basically you're just going to go back in and you're going to add to that position. Only this time you're going to go about 15 or 20x on it because that's a much higher and much bigger position and a huge likelihood that it's going to come down, but it's always going to come down to the point of control. If it doesn't come to the point of control, then that means that you're in like a bullish sort of pattern and you're probably going to go up. And with MEXC, you can just hit the reverse button on any position. And if you're down there and you're getting down there and you notice that it's going to probably reverse and you're seeing the wicking that would tell you a reversal is imminent, then you can just reverse the position and you can keep that same investment and go the opposite way with it and just continue to profit as long as you pay attention to it and you can go up and down as you want. So what I'm looking at is the blue line is my point of control. That's where I would normally set a take profit. If I'm not going to be at my computer for a while, I'm going to take profit at that blue line all the time. If I'm at my computer and I'm looking at it and it's running and it's coming from that green line down to the blue line, I'm going to stare at it for a little while and see if it breaks through because sometimes the price will break down. And if it comes all the way down to that first red line, I'm getting out of the trade at that point, 100%. You always get out of that trade because here's the thing. It does not matter how much you can make. Shorts and longs are transactional trades. They're not long-term investments unless you can get down at the bottom and you can just hold on to something for a real long time. It's a transactional trade. Take the transaction, take your profit. When you make your profit, set yourself a small goal, 10%, 20% of what you invested. That's the maximum. And once you do that, just get back out. make it transactional, and then if you want to go long at some point, take a small amount, go long. If you think you found the bottom of crypto, basically, if you think you found the bottom of crypto, then just go long and enjoy the profits and do it 100x or whatever you want to do. But I'm doing what I do transactionally, 100%. So I'm not sitting here holding on to these things long term. And
Right.
by the way, when you're doing a long or a short, take your original investment out and then let the rest of it ride, just like you would. And just like I told you at the beginning of this conversation, just take your money out when you get it and, take your profit. Always take your profit.
Okay. And typically, like, on an average, how long are you in and out of a trade? Minutes, hours?
It's generally a couple hours. There's no reason to be in for a long period of time. Once you find a point of control, then you're going to take your profit right away. I mean, like, make money. You're in a bear market, so everything that you're doing right now should be designed to be as cutthroat as possible, to make as much money as possible in as short a time as possible, because you will not get a second shot. The one thing that I learned is I might make a good choice and I might pick the right direction and I might start getting a pump on it. The second I say to myself, you know what, I'm just going to let this thing ride, somebody out there is saying, ooh, I bet this guy is thinking it's going to ride, and he's reversing course on me, and he's going to wreck my ass.
Right. Yeah, that's for sure. That's gonna.
And that's derivatives. That's how derivative trading works. I mean, as soon as you feel comfortable with your position, you think, oh yeah, now it's going to crump and it's going to moon, and I'm going to get that 1000x like SHIB or something like that. That's exactly when it's going to reverse, and you're going to wake up dead.
And when you get liquidated on a short position, can you lose more than you've risked, or is that only? No, right. So
the maximum risk. If you put $100 in, the maximum risk that you're accepting is $100. So
right.
It doesn't matter what your leverage is, it just dictates how quickly you get liquidated. So again, if you're at $100 as your point of control and you enter the trade at $95 with 5x leverage with $100, then it probably gives you a range all the way down to, maybe $85 or maybe even $80. So you have some range for it to dip down. But if you're not buying the bottom, then you're making a mistake to begin with. But it gives you some range for the price to go up and down. But the whole point to it is, God damn it, I lost my train of thought. I'm walking out of the gym now. When you do it with 20x leverage, that same position only gives you a few dollars variance. So you're only going to get, instead of getting like $10, $20 variance, you're only going to get $5 or $10 variance. The higher your leverage, the lower your risk tolerance for a downside move on a long, and the shorter your tolerance for an upside move on a short. So you just have to be very careful with it. The best traders, by the way, the best traders who make the most money understand market conditions, they understand taking profits, and they also have a lot of money because they are spot traders primarily. Because while I'm telling you guys all this, the one thing that you should know is that traders who do trading every day, we kind of do it for the thrill and just to see if you can win, but you lose all the time. The idea is to win more than you lose and be consistent with your investments, but most of the money is made in spot trading. So, and for your futures, I mean, don't ever risk. If you have a portfolio of $1,000, don't risk more than $100. Period. Never risk a lot. So, and you can, if you sign up at like MEXC or something like that, I have it like listed in my profile and stuff. If you sign up there, $50 or $20 or $50, that's enough to get you started and get a lot of different trades going. If you just want to do small amounts and test it out, because it's not a, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. So you have plenty of time to learn how to do stuff.
So let me ask you this: does MEXC ask for KYC when you sign up with them to trade derivatives, or not?
Yes, they do. Yep. And I use NordVPN, by the way. I'm also a NordVPN sponsor, so I use NordVPN for it. To sign, I used NordVPN to sign up there. So
This is a sponsored stream by NordVPN. Let's go, boys. That's good, man. Hey guys, if you guys
as a matter of fact, I missed my NordVPN. If NordVPN is on here, you can add 2 people because I missed my tier 2 bonus by 2 signups.
send me your referral link. I'll get you to. I'll get you 2 signups, and we'll get a couple of degens to start trading derivatives.
Well, I think I'm supposed to have like 21 NordVPN signups every single month, and I think I missed my tier 2 bonus.
Is it already too late to hit it? Yo, guys, if you guys have questions, feel free to raise your hand, and I'll bring you up. Or Roof, if you could bring people up, because I'm driving and I don't want to crash.
Yeah, I've got. Yeah, no problem. Guys, retweet the space out, guys. Everyone, just retweet the space out, and I'm just gonna get anyone up with questions now. Karma, go ahead.
Hello, hello.
I think he's gone.
Yeah, he is gone. What did you do at the gym? Hit chest today, back, leg?
Yeah, today, every like 4 weeks or so, it's chest day on a Monday. So I did on National Chest Day. I did chest. So
yeah, I still have to go today too. You go every day to the gym?
Yeah, I don't really worry about how it works out. Like what I'm mostly focused on now is like traps, shoulders, back width. I'm older now, so I'm not going to be competitive at any point or anything like that. So I just want to look the part. So I focus on my calves. When I squat, like I've been working on flexibility in my hips and stuff. So now like I'm basically, I put my ass to the ground on everything that I do, and I'm in much better shape than I've been in a long while. So I'll do my chest exercises, but I kind of fake my way through it. Like I put 225 on an incline press. You do 15 reps, then I do 245, then I do 275, and then that's it. I just do 15 reps, 10 reps, and then 8 reps, and then I'm done. And then everything else that I do is really lightweight stretching exercises. That's all.
Yeah, mobility is huge, dude. Like right now, I'm built like a plank. I can't even touch my toes, bro. But I put on, in the past 2 years, I've put on close to like 25 pounds of muscle, something crazy like that when I did a DEXA scan. So I've been going hard in the gym the past few years, and I mean, yeah, the results speak for themselves. But my mobility is something that I need to work on like ASAP, because I could barely tie my shoes standing up, dude.
Well, I'm built like I eat gazelle, so you know what I mean. Like I worked out hard. I used to bodybuild. I'm 6 foot tall, 280 pounds. I'm kind of an imposing figure when I walk into a room. So the hard part about that is that there's no way for me to just kind of fix my frame. Like I'm always just going to be, like I have really broad shoulders and stuff like that. If you ever watch one of my live streams, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like I have a wide body, so I have to work out and do what I can. Otherwise, it's just going to be gross.
Yeah, same. I'm 6 foot 210, probably like 207 actually right now. But yeah, dude, I'm benching 3 plates, about 100 pounds over my weight. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, dude, I mean, I love it, dude. I love the competitive nature of it, like just going with a buddy and competing with one another and kind of. But realistically, it's just all about health, man. And I feel great ever since I started working out for the past few years. I've just been feeling so much better.
Well, my big 3 lifts were over 1,800 pounds at my prime. So,
oh shit, you're crazy.
Yeah. I was in the strongest 0.5% in the world for most of my life. I don't do heavy weight anymore. So I know when I say 225, that's a lot for somebody. Most people are like, bullshit, but that is lightweight now. And when you work out a long time, it does become like lightweight, and that's like the heaviest that I will ever go. When I do squats, I used to squat 700. There's videos of me squatting 700 pounds online, but now like I do 225. Maybe 25, 30 times because it's all about just stretching the muscle. Like I'm not doing heavy weight anymore. And again, I mean, I know 225 might be heavy for somebody, but it's really not. You know what I mean? It's just about flexibility at this point and just being healthy along the way. So same thing for deadlifts. I don't do deadlifts anymore. I don't want to have that lower back strain all the time. I don't want to have the pain that goes with it. So basically I do like pull downs. I do rows. I just do like complementary exercises. I don't do any chain exercises on my back.
Yeah, I don't do deadlifts either, man. I've heard too many horror stories, and I just I love the feeling of doing a good heavy deadlift, but I just stopped, man. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's too much on my lower back nowadays. It's not worth the risk, because then I'll be limping for a week, and then if I tweak it again, it becomes a repetitive, never-ending cycle. I don't do peptides, I don't do steroids, I don't do, you know what I mean? Like my vice in life now, I don't drink, I don't smoke, no drugs. Caffeine is my drug of choice, and I don't even really drink coffee. I don't drink pops. I don't drink anything. I drink water and tea. That's what I drink, and that's it.
Yeah, I do everything under the sun, man. Nah, I'm just playing, man. No, the one thing I am addicted to is caffeine and nicotine, bro. Caffeine, I have to have like more than a normal human being can consume in a given day, and then nicotine as well. But I operate better when I'm on those 2 substances, dude. Caffeine and nicotine. I just operate so much better.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. You take pre-workout or no?
Well, so I don't take actual pre-workouts. I had for a while. I do take creatine. I guess I should say I take creatine. And I take 3 grams either post or pre-workout, depending on, it's not that big a deal for me. If I want a little bit more strength, then I make sure I take it before a workout. If I'm not really worried about it, then it's for volumizing after the workout. And then I take a fiber. I use that. It's like some generic version, not Metamucil, but it's like generic fiber therapy. And I take that with like a strip of, I get these from Walmart. They're called Great Value Lemonade Energy Strips. And I just pour that into that drink, and then I have a multivitamin, creatine, and for a while I was using beta-alanine, but I don't keep up with beta-alanine. I was using HMB because if you know Maya Nix from she's in Grumpy Cat now, but she's an IFB pro. She got me onto HMB. And I was using that for a while. I just ran out, which is why I say I was on it for a while. But it's like I want to say pro hormone or something like that makes you heal a little bit faster. So I was using that for a little while, and like I really did like it. I really think that it had an effect, because right now I feel, everything in my body hurts because of my last bunch of workouts, because I ran out of it and didn't order more. So shout out to Maya Nix, by the way. She had a good call on that one. But anyway, so otherwise it's creatine and caffeine.
Yeah, that's good, man. I mean, you just got to do what works for you. I stopped taking any supplements because I felt like they were all just placebo. So I'm sure there are a lot of great ones that work. I just didn't want to become reliant on something, dude. Even though if it didn't work and it just made my brain think that it's working, I just didn't want to become reliant on it, because I saw, like, when I went traveling and I didn't take my supplements with me, and I went to the gym in like Japan or wherever the hell I went. I was like, oh, dude, like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. Now I'm not gonna have a good workout. And I thought for a minute. I'm all like, wait, why do I need to have like this supplement to have a good workout? Like, it shouldn't matter. Like, I'm just going to kill it anyway. So ever since then, I just stopped everything. But I do take creatine too. That's something that I didn't cut out. I take creatine every day.
Yeah, creatine works 100%. Caffeine works 100%. Beyond that, I think most of the other stuff that you can get, you basically get from your diet if you're eating right, or from a multivitamin anyway. So you don't have to supplement with vitamin B. You don't have to supplement with other, you don't have to have any kind of special. You don't have to have extra magnesium, even though if you have cramping problems, then you should probably have some more magnesium. But that's about it. Like that, the rest of it is, if you're really serious about it, then get peptide injections. Go talk to your doctor for that, and then take either growth hormone or steroids, and talk to your doctor about that. I mean, it's 2023. Your doctor will give you steroids if you ask him. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna drive straight to my doctor right now and be like, yo, put me on TRT, put me on Matt Trend, because I heard that shit is crazy, but whatever else, man. We're like, yo, doc, hook it up, bro. But yo, one last question before we wrap it up, Leaves. One last question. Do you think it would ever be possible for us to be put on the space with BitBoy, or he's like not open to anything like that? Like, even just like a cool like kickback space like we did today.
I mean, I can ask him, but here's the thing, and it's no disrespect to any communities or anything, because he's in Bencoin, like he does stuff like that. So it's not that he doesn't like the quote unquote degen DeFi sort of space or lifestyle.
We won't talk projects. I just want to talk to him. Like, just that's it.
It's when people use it to promote themselves that's where that's the issue is, like this space is sponsored by Shiba Inu. Like, he is not having that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I mean, it's possible.
Like a similar conversation to what we had. Like we just talked.
Yeah,
shit.
I'm gonna start running my own spaces pretty soon. We've already talked about it, and he'll be popping into those. So, if anybody wants to ask him questions, you'll have plenty of opportunity to ask him questions and stuff like that. But as far as things like this, like today, I'm probably late, but today we're supposed to be working on some sponsorships and different shit like that needs to be done for his new channel. And there's a lot going on in the background that has to be addressed so that he can hit the ground running. I think maybe if you were watching today, you might have heard him say something about stake, that as soon as they're ready, the stake deal will come back and be in a great place, and et cetera, et cetera. So the future's positive for Ben Armstrong. But as far as him getting into spaces and stuff like that, I think it's only going to be sponsored stuff, and I might even have a problem getting him to come into mine. So I don't know for sure yet. We're not there.
Fair enough, my friend. But yeah, no, that's cool, man. I mean, it was cool catching up with you, and I think we should do this again next time. When you're having your own space, shoot me a DM, man, and we'll hop on. I'll bring the community. We'll vibe. We'll talk. Right now, we're pretty much going to be getting back to work with some of the stuff that we're working on. Like I said, I have like a few things that I want to release this week. in terms of catalysts. So I'm gonna kind of like rebuttal with the team right now and start working on that. And then you, obviously, thank you very much for joining us today. And I missed you, man. Like, we should definitely talk more.
Man, nice having you, bro. Nice having you. Hope to see you more often as well, myself, bro. Is he rugging? I think he's rugging, bro.
Yeah, I think he probably got DC'd or something.
Yeah. The last minute.
Do you believe in love?
Let's go, let's go.
If I didn't make money off of crypto, I would have been a singer.
You know what's wild is, I don't know if you can hear me or not. I made it all the way through this, and all of a sudden Leo went mute right after this. So I'm trying to get the sound back.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
We can hear you now. Well, now
let's bring up Johnny. Johnny has a question.
I don't see anyone requesting on my side.
I don't know, dude. Twitter Spaces is...
Sing us a song, Leo. Come on. Sing us a song. You're the piano man.
Just waking up in the morning.
Can you hear me?
I don't know, but today seems kind of odd. What's up, Leaves? Yep, we hear you. No barking from the dog. No smog. And mama cooked the breakfast with no hog.
Hot dog.
All right, I can hear you now, and you sound like shit.
No, thank you. So
wow, that was cold. Ouch.
Oh, shit.
The correct song, I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing, bada, bing, ching, ching, big profit.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Can I use the N-word since I'm 1% Nigerian, according to Ancestry? Nigga.
If you're using
my wife's black, so I got the pass.
All right.
He's full black. I'm only 1% Nigerian.
Yeah, I'm Samoan, so it doesn't bother me, man.
I knew you were. I could tell in your voice.
Yeah, dude, believes I've actually had so this guy, when we launched ShibaDoge back in the day, this guy made a diss, like a rap diss about me. You know, like he put together a whole track and everything. Not about me. Well, yeah, he did it about me, but also like just to the whole project and stuff. And he thought he was like, he thought he was on top. And then I kind of fired back at him. I put together like a song myself. I never finished it, but that was a banger. Let me see if I can find it. Or Roof, you might have it. Do you have that?
Which one, bro? Which one are you talking about again?
Remember that ShibaDoge to the Moon guy when I made like a song reacting to his song?
Oh shit! Yeah, man, I gotta dig that out, bro. I remember. Yeah, that was crazy.
Let me see.
That was good, man. That was good. It may be in the. I think I pinned it in the main chat a long time ago, so it should be in the record.
Yeah, I think it's in our admin chat too. Let me see. It could be somewhere in here.
That is what I need. I need a reason to make a diss track on somebody.
Yeah, that's exactly what Leo done. He made a diss track and it was mad. It was good, man.
Yeah, it really was good. I'm actually surprised I was able to do that.
He rapped a rapper out, man. Like, this guy, he's going on like he's such a great rapper. And Leo actually came out from nowhere and did a better rap than him, bro. This guy does it for a living.
Oh, man. Music.
Hey, Roof, can you hear me?
Yo, what up with your life?
Yeah, I had to drop off and come back for a while. So I know I heard in between we talk about trading, we talk about gym. I think we hear about rap right now. We know Leo probably is holding back in the alpha that you wanted to share in the space. Did I miss it, or we're still waiting for now?
No, I was waiting on the green light from our team to share it, but they're still working on. After this, I'm actually going to hop on the call with them. So we just wanted to drop some catalysts like this week. So there's a few things that we're working on.
I just wanted to check because, as I said, I was out and just dropped back in.
Yeah, man. I'm not seeing any requests. I'm just seeing a request from Karma flipping since the beginning.
Well,
he's still.
If I leave this roof, if I leave this call, the whole space will end, right? I can't pass the ownership over to you. Like you'd have to just like.
Nah, I'll have to just restart one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You can't pass the torch.
Can't pass it. They'll hopefully fix that in the next 300 updates because I know Elon is trying to fix shit slowly but surely. But anyway, I'm going to call it a wrap over here. Bleaves, thank you very much for joining in, bro. It's a pleasure to have you. Next time when you have your space, we'll be sure to join as well. So please shoot me a DM, and we'll make sure to be present. But other than that, thank you everybody for joining us today. I'm probably going to be back on voice chat and Telegram here in a few hours once I'm done with some of my work. And we'll talk there. If you guys want to hop in there, feel free to.
I might.
I'm not gonna say bye because I'll talk to you guys again.
Yeah, I might start a space in about an hour, Leo. So I'll let you know if I start a space. I might do some giveaways and stuff, do some shill raids and stuff like that. So just keep eye out in the pinned messages, yeah, in Telegram, guys.
Yeah, let me know. I know that I have a team call that I'm gonna go on right now. I don't know how long that'll take, but if I'm done by the time you start it, then I'll come in.
Cool, man. Cool. Just come in, chill out, man. If you got any alpha, drop it on them. That'd be nice. Something. That's if you guys got something, right? Yeah, man. Cool.
All right,
thanks,
guys.
Bleaves.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Bleaves.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Have a good day, brother.
Let's go.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
well, thank
Bleaves.
you. Thanks, Bleaves.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Have a good day, brother.